What is going on, y'all? This is Pay Me in Dividends, and today is February 28th, 2025. Now, it is the last day of the month, so I'm going to talk about some things in the market, and I'm also going to show you exactly how much dividend income I've received over this past month. We'll compare it to previous month, and then we'll move forward from there. But the first thing I want to talk about is NVDY from YieldMax, right? Now you'll see it is trading at under $18 a share, right? Today it is green at the open of the market, but it is trading at $17.77 per share. But I want to show you guys exactly why that is, right? So remember, guys, keep in mind that when a dividend is paid on the ex-dividend date, the yield is then extracted from the share price, right? So we can see that the market was already choppy for NVDY and really for the entire market. But once that dividend was extracted out of the share price, we can see that deep decline, right? So do not be afraid when you see this deep drop, because keep in mind that NVDY did pay $1.61 per share this month, right? Which was double the from what they paid the previous payout, right? So just keep that in mind when you see that these high yield ETFs, when they drop around payday, just remember why it is that they drop around payday, just so that you're informed, right? So we're going to move on to the next one, of course, Misty, right? So Misty is looking decent today. It is back above $20 a share. It's right around $20 a share today, and I still think there's opportunity here, right? So if I didn't clarify, I don't think I really clarified enough in my previous video, but I do have 1,000 shares of Misty at $32 per share. I did show you guys my portfolio in the last video so that you had a visual of exactly what I have, right? So I do have 1,000 shares of MSTY at a cost basis of $32 a share. So I am down on paper. However, I've already received a little over $16,000 in dividends from Misty since I've been holding it. And so I've made about half of my initial investment back already. But my plan with Misty is to hold on to my shares. I'm not going to add any more shares. I'm not going to average down. I'm not going to sell either. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to my 1,000 shares, continue to collect that dividend income, and then put it into other investments that are a bit more safer, right? Something like XDTE, which is off of the S&P 500, and they also pay weekly from Roundhill, and also things like this, AMZP, which I do have 200 shares of, and I do think that it is at a good price right now because Amazon has been down recently, and so this may be at a discounted price again. But when we zoom out, we can see that it does appreciate in value, right? So that's just a little bit of insight as to where I'm going now with my portfolio. I am going to hold on to my Misty position. I'm not adding to it, and I'm also not selling it. I'm going to use those dividends to build and cushion out the rest of the portfolio, right? So let's move on and let's look at Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin took a massive drop. Look at this. Over the past month, it's about down 20%, right? In the past 5 days, it's down about 13%. And it is at $83,000, y'all. Remember, it was just above 100,000, close to 110,000 at its all-time high not very long ago, right? So it's at $83,000. Now, I want you guys to remember, always zoom out, right? So when you look at the 1-year chart, you can see that Bitcoin is still up 33% over the past year. If we compare that to the S&P 500, the S&P 500 is up 15% over the past year. So Bitcoin is still outperforming the S&P 500 when you zoom out, right? When you look at the big picture. So guys, this may be an opportunity. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to buy or sell, but what I am saying is that when there's blood in the streets, right, like the saying goes, when there's blood in the streets, that's when you have to collect assets, right? So this may be a buying opportunity, because when things go back up, right, when the market turns around and we're in the next bull run, people are going to be salty that they didn't collect assets at a discounted price, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. This may be a time to dollar cost average, meaning you put a little bit of money, every week, every 2 weeks, whatever you can afford, and you just slowly accumulate assets that will grow over time, or assets that will generate cash flow for you, right? So this is just a reminder to always zoom out and look at the big picture, right? So again, we'll look at the S&P 500 heat map. We can see year to date. You can actually, kind of filter out what you want to look at, but here we're looking at year to date. So far in 2025, these are the results as far as stocks, in the S&P 500. So we can see that NVDY is down about 9% year to date. Microsoft is down about 7% year to date. Apple is down about 5% year to date, right? So again, this is opportunity. You have companies that generate massive amounts of revenue and are very, very profitable, and they are trading at a discounted price. Although some people would argue that these are still kind of overvalued, this tech sector, but who knows, right? People have always said that, but they just continue to go up in price, right? So I feel like when it's down, it's at a discounted price. You can take that as an opportunity to buy, right? So again, I'm not gonna make this video too long, but one more thing I want to show you guys is how much dividend income I made this month. Right now, don't mind the, I'm trying to give you guys a visual here. Don't mind the chart. It is a little funky, but basically this month, February 2025, I've made $4,472 in dividend income, right? So I've made about $20 more, about $24 more than I did in January, which is awesome, considering that the market has been down over the past few weeks, right? So I've actually progressed. I've actually increased my income this month, and I'm going to continue to plug away and keep increasing that income, right? Now, one change I did make to my portfolio is I actually turned XDTE and AMZP on drip, because I do plan on holding these long term. I do like AMZP from Curve because they do capture some of that capital appreciation while also paying a decent dividend, about 20 to 25% dividend yield paid out on a monthly basis. And then again, as you guys know, XDTE from Roundhill is based off the S&P 500, and they do pay every week, right? They pay every single Friday. So I turned XDTE on drip along with AMZP on drip. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my AIPI shares along with my Misty shares and my NVDY shares to pay down my margin. I do have a bit of margin, not too much at this point. I've paid down most of it, but I do have over 90% of equity in my portfolio. So I'm going to take about the next 60 to 90 days to completely pay off my margin while keeping XDTE and AMZP on drip. And then as time progresses, I'm going to take that money from Misty and NVDY and AIPI and continue to feed XDTE. I'll probably add one or two more to the portfolio as well, maybe like a QQI or a SPY from Neos, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, that is the portfolio. So you guys let me know in the comments. What are you doing this week? Are you buying anything at a discount? You guys let me know in the comments. As always, I appreciate you stopping by the channel, and I will catch you in the next video.